Yes. So whatever we are discussing today are the, I mean, the way the questions has been asked uh, in the externals, OU external exams. So basically, and one more question they have asked. I mean, they try to ask is what is an internet and what is World Wide Web. So it's almost the same. The only difference is through internet you can do several other things apart from World Wide Web. Web is nothing but it's basically used to share HTML, I mean, textual information and all. But using internet, you can as well transfer files and other things. So that is what is one of the other things, other important issues. Now, coming to the HTML5, here we have covered starting from the basic syntax, how the HTML tags, what are HTML tags, and then followed by the structure. How, I mean, you have first the HTML tag, and within HTML, it's like a tree structure. Within HTML tag, you will have head section and the body section. So head section is nothing but it's only for meta information. Whatever tags are there in head section does not get displayed inside the web browser. Though you may use a title tag that gets displayed as a title on the web browser, but not inside a web page. So those, the head section basically describes uh, about the about the meta information there, and whatever content you will have inside the body or the tags inside the body section, those gets directly displayed as a web page within the web browser. So then coming to this evolution of HTML and XML, certain theoretical things we have talked about, that HTML is a meta language, I mean, hypertext markup language. It has been derived from, it's basically a markup language which is derived from SGML, standard markup language, standard generalized markup language. And then since HTML doesn't have the what do you call doesn't follow strict rules about the syntax or the way tags are used, or with respect to the opening and closing of the tags. So we also have something known as XML, which is a well-formed language. It's also a markup language. You don't do programming in HTML and XML, but there is no programming part. HTML and XML cannot compute and give you an output. So that is why we don't call them as a programming language. We call them as a markup language. So we have something known as XML. With the use of XML, what I mean, since XML is a well-formed language, I mean, every tag whichever opens has to close in the sequence they are opened. So combining these, the advantages of XML and the well-formedness of XML into an HTML, we get XHTML. So X is nothing but extended HTML part. So so combining the XML and HTML, we have XHTML. And what we say is XHTML is a well-formed language, well-formed HTML language. So here we have to take care about the well-formedness, that is the tag whichever opens in sequence has to close in that sequence. Then actually what you have in the syllabus is HTML5. This is the latest version of HTML. Now several new things have been incorporated. Some of the tags which were there in the previous versions of the HTML has been deprecated, since browsers do not support them anymore, or the latest, we can say latest browsers do not support them anymore. and some of the new tags have been incorporated to, to present the content in a more dynamic fashion. So what we are actually learning is HTML5, and as such, there is no difference between the links, images, or how we use multimedia as well as tables, and how we create forms and all using HTML. It is same as what using HTML5. It is same as what we have in HTML. So whether you get a question about HTML or whether you get a question about HTML5, they both are same. So do not hesitate. Links, images, multimedia, how we handle that, and the list, tables, everything is same for HTML as well as HTML5. So don't get confused with that, except that HTML5 has got few more newer tags which was not supported earlier. Then we have seen, in basic syntax, we have seen how the content is presented. Heading tags we have seen. We have also seen the para tag, paragraph, which is p tag. Pre tag also we have seen, which is for pre-formatted output. Line break, that is br tag. And how we can have the text in bold. So we use B tag, or we use italics I to format the content there. Then we have talked about cascading style sheets. Using the cascading style sheets, we talked about something called as a div tag, and we have divided the div tag, use the ID to have more what do you call, feel or presentable view, using different borders, using different fonts, so we can have the inline CSS, as well as we can have an external CSS for that, and all the styles to present the HTML content, or to present the content using HTML tags. All the styles can be used using cascading style sheets. Like margin, like font. Font actually has got several other styles as well as within it. That is, you can change the size of the font using cascading style sheets. You can change the color of the font. You can make the font bold. That is the style itself font. So we can have borders for the different regions. Regions within the web page. Then we have also seen about the span tag. Though these two, div and span tags, are not mentioned here in the syllabus, specifically mentioned in the syllabus, but don't think so if they are asked because they have several times asked about div and span tags in OU external exam. So don't think that it's out of syllabus. When we say cascading style sheets, we cannot use cascading style sheets without the div and span tags. So don't think that div and span are out of syllabus. It's part of the syllabus, because here we are talking about cascading style sheets, and which is there in the syllabus. So, and one more thing, div and span tags are most important as part of the syllabus is concerned. Then coming to the links part, we have seen how to create a link to a different web page, that is using the anchor tag. And there were several the attributes also. That is, we can open a link in the same web page, or we can create a target web page and open it in we can specify a target as blank, target attributes as blank, and open it in a different window or a different tab. As well as images can also have links. And they can be links within an image as well. I mean, for different sections of the image. So that is the different types of links. How we have seen how we can create different types of links. Then coming to the image tag, remember IMG tag is also very important. Why it is important? Because IMG tag cannot be used without an attribute. There is a mandatory attribute in IMG tag, image tag, which is source. That is why it is very important. And we have to provide the source, otherwise image tag will not work. That is IMG tag will not work. Apart from the mandatory attribute for the image tag, what we have is we have other attributes as well, which are optional. For example, we can use the height and the width attribute. Height and width can be specified in terms of pixels or in terms of percentage also. And then we have another attribute called as alt, A-L-T, that is for alternate text. This alternate text, what happens is when the image, when the web browser is not able to display the image, for example, the name of the resource might have changed, or due to some reason, the image may not have been downloaded for timing. So in that case, alt tag will display an alternate text in place of the image. As well as alt tag is also important because in search engine optimization, or in terms of the process that search engines apply, is they try to read the alt tag and the text provided in the alt tag so that they can have the information about the image itself. So that is one of the ways even the alt tag can be used. Then regarding the multimedia, you can have tags or you can display images apart from images, sorry. You can also have audio, you can have videos, you can have GIFs and other things which can be incorporated there. Then coming to list, we have three types of list, and list topic is the important part in this topic is they several times in OU external exam they have asked a question to write a program, HTML program, to demonstrate the use of the use of ordered list and unordered list, and explain the difference between the two. So obviously we have three different lists, that is ordered list, unordered list, as well as the third thing is the definition list. Somebody has raised a hand there. Who is this? Yeah, you can. I mean, just open up. Unmute yourself and then you can ask the question, or you can type the question in chat as well. Somebody has raised a hand. Anyway, there is no response, and I don't even know who has raised the hand because it's gone right now. So anyway, it might have been by mistake. So let us continue. So in list, we have three different types of list: ordered, unordered, and definition list. Ordered list, and obviously list should have the items inside the list. That means the what do you call the different option that list should have different items list should have. So each item, if it's an ordered list, will have a number associated with it, or it can also have an alphabet associated with it. The number can be in numerical numbers, or it can be in I mean, it can be in decimal, that is integers, or it can be in Roman numbers, as well as these Roman numbers or the alphabets can be in small case as well as in capital case. So there are different options. That is, we have different attributes available to us to create list in such fashion using the ordered list. That is OL, ordered list. OL is for ordered list. Then coming to unordered list, the items in the list doesn't have any order, in the sense that we do not represent any numbers or alphabets or Roman numbers to represent those lists. So coming to the definition list, or DL, what we call, has two things: the definition data and the definition, it's the description of the data. So it's basically to create a definition. The first part will have, and there is no such thing called as ordered and unordered and definition list. So first part of the definition list is just like a term, which is bold. And then the second part is the, what do you call, the description of that definition, or the meaning, we can say. So that is why it's called as definition list. Now remember, ordered and unordered list can be nested also. So as we can create different, ordered and unordered lists separately. We can also create ordered and unordered list in terms of as a nested list. So ordered list can be nested inside an ordered list as well as inside an unordered list. So we can have any number of combinations with respect to ordered and unordered list in terms of nesting them. Then suppose if we are creating two ordered lists in different ways, I mean, in the sense that two ordered lists are different. It's not nested, but we have two ordered lists on a web page. Then the second ordered list by default will start numbering from 1. That's the default. So we also have an attribute to change the number, that is the start attribute there, so that we can start an attribute from a different, we can start the numbering of the list, items of the list from whatever number we specify in that start attribute. So that was all about the list there. Then the second, not the second, the next thing is we have tables. And here in tables, remember, tables will have rows. So we have to create a table tag. And inside the table tag, we have to create a row tag, that is TR, table row, T row, table row, TR for table row. Then table row, each row may have cells, like columns, what we call in mathematics. But here in HTML, we call them as cells. So each row will have cell, and that cell is created using TD. It's not TC. Table row is TR, but table cell or table column is not TC. Cell is with TD. D is for data, table data. So TR is there for table row, and TD is for table cell. The each cell what we have. Then inside this, there is no hard and fast rule that all the rows should have the same number of columns or same number of cells. Now, if you have different cells and different rows, then obviously it will not look, the table might not be in a proper format. Then suppose if we have to, merge some of the cells in a row, you can use column span. And if you have to merge some of the rows, you need to use row span. So row span and column span are also important, and they have, Even to write a program they have asked, as well as theoretical also they have asked in the exam, OE external exam. Then the other thing is we have TR tag. So instead of table instead of sorry, we have table heading TH instead of TR in the first row, which is by default used for table heading. So the first row we can create it using the TH tag, table heading tag, which I mean generally describes the column. I mean the heading for the columns there in the table. Then there is certain difference between using tables and using div tags. So again, we are talking about div tag. Div is for division. Div tag. Now that we said that div tag, I mean, without div tag, we cannot use cascading style sheets. So here again, we are talking about div tags. There is a difference between div and tables. Now, nowadays, table tags are not being used to design HTML because of the various view sizes we have for a web. I mean, for hardware devices. For example, I mean, the web page can be displayed on a PC, on a monitor, or it can be displayed on a smaller size display, that is on a tablet, or it can also be displayed on a mobile phone. So tables generally tend to fit in that view, and the size of the view, in the sense the size of the screen what we have, and once they try to fit in that size, what happens is the rows or columns may get distorted. So in such situations, it's not feasible to have a website which can present itself using styles. I mean, the same website may look different on a tablet, may look different on a laptop, or it may look different on a what do we call a mobile device. So to overcome this problem of distortion of the data when using tables, nowadays div tag is preferred. So that div tag can be, I mean, it doesn't have a fixed size. It can resize itself easily depending upon what is the area of the view area of a web page. I mean, the display area of the device. And I mean, div has got several other options also to float itself, and we can use several other styles with the CSS to I mean present the tables. I mean present the content rather than using tables to present the content using the div tags. So that is what is again, I mean, a difference between using tables and div. So nowadays people are not preferring tables. Actually, the websites are nowadays not developed using tables, but they are developed using, instead of tables, people are using div tags. Now, the most important part is the forms in HTML. Now these forms means till now whatever we have learned, I mean talked about, was all with respect to display of the content to the user, presenting the content to the user using a markup language. But forms is something in HTML through which we can have an interaction. I mean, we can take the input from the user. So these forms, the most important topic in HTML is the forms itself. So I mean, because we can take the input, feedback from the user. I mean, feedback not in the sense what we generally think about when we talk about feedback is some giving some ratings or something. That's not the feedback. Feedback in the sense some input from the user. So this form, obviously, for creating forms, you need to have a form tag, and there are some important attributes in the form tag. The first attribute is the method through which we can send the data. That is through which form tags work. We have two methods, get and post. And then the next important attribute is the action attribute. That is, we specify where this data has to be sent. So we specify a URL there. To which resource this data has to be sent to. So these are the two different attributes there. Then obviously we are going to have name and ID, so and so such things. Then inside a form tag, now you will be able to have different components or different controls which you can use for the users to, give their input. Very first thing is the text input, or the text field, what we call. And then the text field can be a normal text field or it can be a password field. Then we can have the radio buttons, check boxes, and list boxes, combo boxes, as well as text area. Sorry. Now to create all these controls, that is text fields, password fields, list box, checkbox, radio buttons, drop down box, we use input as the tag. And that input tag, input is basically, the tag where we can specify different types. So if it type is text, then it's a normal text field. If the type is password, it's a password field. If the type is checkbox, it's a checkboxes. You can create a group of checkboxes. The same way with respect to radio buttons and other things. So these are all created using input tag. Then the text area, where we can have the difference between text field and text area is that text field can have only a single line of text, whereas text area can have multiple lines of text. And text area is created using text area, the tags text area itself, not using input, using text area itself. Then we have several attributes there. We can, the first and foremost thing is the name and the ID, because ID we'll be using in JavaScript. So name and ID is the attribute. Then we can have value and the max size of this and so things we can have. So that is what all we covered in the earlier sessions. So this was all about the first unit, what we have covered, and we have also talked about what things are important with respect to the external examiner. Then in the second unit, so this is the first unit you're going to have. Then in the second unit, we have not actually completed the second unit, entire second unit. So we have talked about the JavaScript, that is the overview of JavaScript, why JavaScript is used, the fundamental, the basic purpose of using JavaScript and HTML is that HTML doesn't have anything dynamic by itself. So we need certain language through which we can use the capability of computing the results. So that is the reason JavaScript is used. And remember, you cannot use JavaScript alone. JavaScript has to be used with HTML. JavaScript doesn't work alone. It has to be used with HTML. So in conjunction with HTML, we use JavaScript. And the most important thing is JavaScript is not Java. Java is a programming language, whereas JavaScript is a scripting language. And then, though JavaScript uses the same syntax of Java, but it's a scripting language, not a programming language. The difference here is that when we call it, say that it's not a programming language, it's a scripting language. The difference is here is that Java, you have to write a program and compile that program, then run that program. JavaScript, you don't compile a program. You just run the program in a web browser. You don't even interpret the program. I mean, there are no interpreters and all. It's all built in within the web browser. So you just write a program, JavaScript program, or the code for the JavaScript, and you run that, you execute, you open a web page to execute that JavaScript. Now, once the execution is done, obviously the result will be displayed back on the web browser itself. So web browser has got a built-in JavaScript engine. All web browsers have got built-in JavaScript engines which will execute this JavaScript code. So remember, it's a scripting language, not a programming language. But whereas Java is a programming language, and Java is not same as JavaScript, or JavaScript is not same as Java. And though it uses same syntax what we have in Java. Same syntax, absolutely same syntax. There is nothing, there's no difference at all. Then there are several other, the purposes or objectives of using JavaScript. The most important objective is the event handling. Here, what we have is the events there, event handling part. So, and that was the overview and about the JavaScript what we have seen. Then syntax characteristics, I told you it uses same things. Though, Java may have, lot of data types, but here there are only a couple of data types like number, and then you have the string. So these are the only data type. And JavaScript is a dynamically typed language. You don't declare a type of the variable. You just use a var to declare a variable dynamically, depending upon the value that is stored in that variable. The type is decided. So remember, that is also one of the thing we have talked about in the sessions. Then operators, primitives, obviously the basic things. Operators, all arithmetic, logical, and relational operators works the same way as in other programming languages. And then expressions also, obviously we have to have an order or precedence is there to evaluate the expressions. Now, input and output for a JavaScript is, input is taken through the web forms, what we have for HTML. And then output is given using a document object in JavaScript. You can give the output back to the user using the WriteLine method. So WriteLine is the method, document objects, write and WriteLN are the methods which are used for giving the output. Then with respect to the control statements, for loops, while loop, do while loop, if state, that is conditional statements, if loops, not loops, if statements, if else statements, else if statements. They are all same as what we have in Java, absolutely no difference. Then this we have not covered, object creation and modification, as well as arrays also we have not covered. We have covered functions. So, the function starts with the function name and then followed by, function starts with the function as the keyword itself, then the name of the function, and we can have parameters, and we may or may not have parameters for the function. And for always, obviously body of the function is there. Then here we have whatever variables declared within the function will work, will be local to that function. And then these functions are mostly used when we consider events. So we have seen functions, then we have not talked about the constructors, as well as we have not looked at pattern matching. Pattern matching, though, is a very important topic in JavaScript. Not only in JavaScript and any program, I mean, language, pattern matching is a, I mean, any web programming language, pattern matching is a very important topic. So we have not seen that. So that's not going to be there in your internals. So after internals, we will cover the other things. Then we have not talked about DOM objects, though we have seen a tree about document object model. That is, if you look at the previous videos, we have, I mean, seen how the tree is constructed for an HTML document, and we have also seen events. We have started the events. We talked about that there is an event which occurs on a web page. I mean, clicking a button is an event. Selecting a checkbox is an event. So we talked about events, and JavaScript is an event handling. I mean, event driven language. So we talked about events, and events we talked about that there is an event generated, and for that event there will be a handler for that event. And those event handlers and all is nothing but we call the functions we write to process those events. So we covered the functions and events also. We started the events part. We have not completed the, I mean, every event there. We have only seen on-click event. So we have only seen on-click event. So you are going to have the basics of JavaScript, expressions, everything, control structures. Till here you are going to have in this second internal, which is on, sorry, not second internal, the first internal, which is on 7th. Then, so this is the part you're going to have till control statements, and you're going to have functions and DOM also, and in DOM events, not everything, the theory of the events, which we have seen, and only on click event. Though there are other things, events also, on blur is there, on focus is there, on submit is there. So all these events are there, but event theory and only on click event. So that is going to be there in the syllabus for your what do you call your the 7th, the first intern. This object creation, arrays will not be there, constructor and pattern matching, and basics of Ajax with example will not be there in your internal. So I think this is what we have covered so far in all these lectures, and so that is what you're going to have in your first internal. Now, even the next class, that is on Wednesday, I suppose we have it on Wednesday. Yeah, we have a class on Wednesday. We will continue on the Wednesday's class with other things. I mean, what do you call, just try to brush up, or we'll try to look at, we'll not start a new thing like pattern matching or so. We'll just go through some of the programs, what we have seen and all in the previous sessions. So after your first internal, we will look at the other topics. I mean, we'll carry on with the rest of the syllabus. Now, if you have any questions or if you have any doubts, you can ask, or we can end the session. I mean, you can type it in chat, or you can unmute yourself and I mean, ask me the question. If there are no questions, I mean, if you have any questions and all, please note it down or have it in your mind. And then on Wednesday, we are going to have a class from 11 to 1. So in that session, please try to clear your doubts and all. So I think for today, We have not done anything new. We have not. We have just discussed about the previous things, whatever we have seen in the previous sessions. So if you don't have no doubts, then we can close this session. There is a question here. You will be uploading some reference notes. So you told us that you will be uploading some reference notes. Just a minute, let me check this one. I'll just open my. Which is this? What is the subject? ये क्या तो भी है? This is academic year 2021. This is academic year section. Which academic year? I don't know. Now, where are the other classes? This is very old stuff. Web programming lab. Okay. Where are the? Hi. Why is this? Yeah, actually, yeah, I will be doing that. Actually, my this class has gone into archive. I'll just restore this class. So I think now I think I have created the web and internet technologies class in Google Classroom, and I think I have invited you people also, and most of them have accepted the invitation, except one person, Fahad bin Wahid. Except this person, everybody else has accepted the invitation. And if you go into the classwork, I have, okay, yeah, I have not, I have only uploaded the links for the videos and all. I have not uploaded the some of the material for the content, the course there. I will do it surely. And uh, we will be using the same class, that is web and internet technologies classroom, for conduct of our first intern. So I'll upload in that too. Fahad bin Wahid says, I have accepted too. Now it's not showing here, man. It says invited. Fahad is also not accepted. Another person is Abdul Malik, has also not accepted. It is, I'm talking about web and internet technologies PE 521 CS class for academic year 2021. Just you may have accepted Fahad, you may have accepted the other classes, not my class. I mean, you have the, I mean, you may be having the invitation in your email, college email. Or I'll just WhatsApp me, just text me, just send me a WhatsApp message. I'm talking about Fahad. WhatsApp me with your roll number. Here I will be having your roll number, but I mean, WhatsApp me a message with your roll number, and I'll do one thing. I'll just try to send you a, because I cannot send you invitation once more because it's already pending. So what I'll do is I'll just send you the class code so that you can join it through that code. Okay. So anyway, I'll be uploading the material over here. So yeah, I have already uploaded the class videos. I will also be uploading some of the material. which may be useful. So, anyways, that's it. I think. Can we wind up the session? Okay, then. Thank you very much.